Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're starting a new series here leading up to Halloween. We got 13 nights left until All Hallows Eve, and I'll be doing a horror movie or an adaptation leading all the way up until that. For today's movie, we are talking about none other than Rosemary's Baby. Rosemary's Baby is a 1968 American psychological horror film directed by Roman Polanski, based on the 1967 novel of the same name by Ira Levin. This movie is an instantaneous classic. There are so many great qualities in this movie for a psychological horror film, especially for it being from the 60s. It has so many great qualities that have brought so much direction into today's modern era horror movies. The film stars Mia Farrow as Rosemary Woodhouse. She is a pregnant woman who becomes convinced that her neighbors are part of a satanic cult that plan to use her unborn child for their evil purposes. The movie begins with Rosemary and her husband Guy moving into a seemingly idealistic apartment building in New York City. Rosemary then becomes pregnant, and her neighbors, Minnie and Roman Castevet, become increasingly involved in her life. She begins having strange dreams and visions, and she becomes convinced that the Castevets are part of a satanic cult. Rosemary's fears are confirmed whenever she learns that the Castevets have drugged her and forced her to give birth to a demonic child. For this movie being from the 60s, it takes a lot of great control as it explores themes of paranoia, fear, and loss of control to a woman's body. There are so many just crazy psychological themes that have brought so much greatness into our modern era of movie making, you know, from the crazy dinner scene and the crazy party scene all the way to the really weird sex scene with the devil, where she becomes impregnated from the demon child. It's just, there's a lot going on in this movie, and it's just so well made and so well crafted for it being 1968. The film focuses on Rosemary's descent into madness as she becomes increasingly isolated and unable to trust anyone around her, including her own husband. The Castevets in this movie are played by Ruth Gordon and Sidney Blackmere, and they are, without a doubt, aside from Mia Farrow, they are the two standout characters of this 1968 classic. Ruth Gordon, she plays Minnie Castevet, and she's just the elderly neighbor that becomes Rosemary's friend. She's her confidant, and you know, she's secretly part of the satanic cult, and she just has that nasally voice along with the psychological tropes through this movie that just really get to you as you linger on through this fantastic film. And then Sidney Blackmere as Roman Castevet. It's Minnie's husband, and he's also part of the satanic cult, and he's this welcoming, just loving, caring old man who, you know, just out of nowhere flips switch and becomes like the satanic cult leader who's just all hellborn and wants to bring the devil back to life. And both of these two put together play these roles just so fantastically. The Castevets become just obsessed with Rosemary and her pregnancy, and it intensifies as she suspects that they are part of this sinister plan for her unborn child. And you know, they just try to long for it. They've tried this for so long with so many different women, and it's all failed up to this point. And then with Rosemary, they have this deep affection that it's just going to work, and it's going right according to plan. So the Castevets, they drug and manipulate Rosemary into believing that her child is a gift from God. Whenever she finally gives birth, she's horrified to realize that her child is not human at all, but a demonic creature. And that's pretty much where the film concludes. It concludes with her realizing that her child is born to the satanic cult, and that she is pretty much going to be the cause of the reason why the devil is brought back to life. Rosemary's Baby is considered to be one of the greatest horror films of all time, and has influenced countless other films and has become a cultural touchstone in modern horror. Rosemary's Baby was a critical and commercial success upon its release. It was nominated for 6 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. The film has been praised for its suspenseful atmosphere, strong performances and acting, and completely chilling and horrific ending. Well, that'll do it for this one for me, y'all. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This will be my first of 13 videos leading up to All Hallows Eve, where I will cover a different horror movie each day, all the way up until Halloween, giving you different facts about the movie, different synopses about those movies. I hope you guys enjoy this series leading up to then. Remember to check under your beds and stay safe out there.